Ah, haha, what's up, guys? Welcome to the daytime stream. How's that looking? All right, let's see. We're going to jump over here. We're going to grab this. Pop this in here as well. All right. We're going to hit save on that. So today, we've got even more slabs from Anthony Kalura. Yet another commission slab. Yet another commission slab order. Lowering, how about, yeah, I'm going to say lowering Pokemon prices. And live card shop. So we're actually going to reevaluate the Pokemon English prices. Today I ordered the Prismatic Super Premium Collection Edition, and I'm reevaluating our prices on Prismatic, and I noticed it was a little high. So what I want to do at the start of the stream is kind of go through all these, make sure these are all up to date. We're also going to lower the margins I take on Pokemon English. So we're going to start here with Journey Together. Journey Together. Alright, this one's pretty good. I think Pokemon prices might have fallen slightly, so if that's true, we want to make sure we keep up with it as it falls. Alright, so I'm being told about $7.85 for Journey Together, so it's at 8. That's about right. It's only about 15 cents difference. There's the McDonald's Dragon. Let's see. Let's try that. Dragon Discovery. So a Dragon Discovery case, right? Here's a case of Dragon Discovery. Divided by how much? 150? Oh, says here Dragon Discovery actually goes up. All right, well, Dragon Discovery is now a $5 pack. It kind of makes sense. They came out a while ago. Now, Prismatic Evolutions is coming down to 17.5. I already know that one. Prismatic Evolutions is going down to 17.5. So that is a nice big drop, actually, from what we had it at. Okay, Surging Sparks. We're doing Surging Sparks next. Take a quick look at this. Might be time to restock Surging Sparks. That's not a bad price. Oops, I did that wrong. Oops, I did that wrong too. Divided by 36. It says 8.75. What do we got? Surging Sparks at 10.5. We're going to bring it down to 9. Surging Sparks. It's now 9. And I'm actually going to grab probably a round of them. Wait a second here. Let's grab 3 boxes of these. Actually, hold on. These slabs aren't as impressive. Hey everyone, been a while. What's up, man? How's it going? Who's that? Shadow Darknose? How's it going, man? We have people pop back in all the time, man. So Surging Sparks is getting a restock. I don't think we had Temporal Forces at all, did we? Price drop and a restock. Let's try the next one. We're doing this live just so you guys can hear my thoughts on it. There's Shrouded Fable. Shrouded Fable, huh? That one's tricky. I don't even think I want to restock Shrouded Fable. Yeah, that one's tricky. Because that one's not super popular, is it? Shrouded Fable, huh? I'm just going to lower Shrouded Fable. I'm going to assume it went down a little bit. We're going to lower Shrouded Fable from 8 to 7. And then Stellar Crown, huh? What up, people? We'll do it live. We'll do it live. We'll do it live. F it. Such a funny clip. All right, here we go. So, says here 7.8. What do we have? Okay, Stellar Crown's going from 9 to 8, everybody. So Stellar Crown's cheaper. Twilight Masquerade's next. Okay, Twilight Masquerade. Let's see how that box is doing. Yeah, we're lowering prices live right now. We're lowering prices on English Pokemon. I might actually buy this right here. This is a, well, let's see. I'm liking these prices. I'm seeing some good prices, man. All right, here we have it. Not only are we lowering prices, we're also changing our margin to be a little bit cheaper. All right, so it says $8 on Twilight. What do we have? Twilight's 9, so Twilight's now 8. Trick or Trade, it's going to stay at 2. Paldea Evolved, that's an important one. So Paldea Evolved. That's one of my favorites from the Scarlet Violet era, is actually the Paldea Evolved. And that one looks like it's still very expensive. I don't see this one changing. That's actually kind of a strong signal too, by the way. If a lot of the other sets got cheaper, but this one did not, that's a very strong set for the future of this set. All right, let's just take a quick look. Well, shucks, I ain't never seen so many dang Charizards. You like that one? Okay, divided by 36. Oh, Paldea Evolved goes up. Okay, so a couple of them went down. Paldea Evolved goes from 10 to 11. All right, then there's Paldean Fates. That one's tricky. I don't know the best way to stock Paldean Fates. And that one's getting pretty old too, by the way. It looks like booster bundles are available. So let's take a quick look at the booster bundles. We might need to compare two prices, the booster bundle price and the ETB price. Generally, the booster bundles are cheaper, but not always. In fact, there are no sealed cases of booster bundles. That's interesting to note. Let's try Paldean Fates case. Let's look up that. Ooh, something just beeped. Paldean case. Is this it? Let's see what this is. Yep, this will be it. And let's see. At this point, the ETBs give out 9 packs, right? So we're about to come up with the price here. Divided by 10 times 9, which is 90. Oops. Divided by 90. It says here, Paldean Fates should go to $22. Wow. Is that accurate? That feels inaccurate. Wow, that feels inaccurate. That feels too high. We don't sell it very often either because our price is already high. I might need more time with Paldean Fates, so we might not do that one live. I think I need a chance to sit down and do more research, because sometimes there's cheaper ways to stock a product. But he's going to say 18 for now. English 151. That one's really tricky too. We sold a bunch of that last night. So this is going to say Blooming Waters. Last time I checked, that was the way to do it. How's it going, guys? We got 53 viewers. Signed a contract for a house, and now the lender's trying to increase our closing costs, complaining that the rate we got locked in at is too low. What? Tell him he can eat rocks. What a jerk. All right, we have a 151 source. Divided by what, 12? Okay, it says here, wow, it says here we'd be interested in increasing our price on the 151s. I'm actually going to pick up, wow, these prices are ridiculous. Oh, I'm getting a call from Alexis. Should I take the call? All right, just stay with me, guys. Hey, Alexis, we're live. What do you want?
Oh, do you want me to go pay for that now?
For the battery, is that right? Yes. You can, how much?
$155.
Okay, I can send that. You want me to just send that?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
They're gonna charge
Oh, okay. All right, sounds good.
188.80 today.
188.80. All right, thank you very much.
$8 from the core. That'll be refunded. You're good.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to call you in the middle of that.
That's Alexis. I've generously hired her to change my car battery because I'm so busy with you guys. So why don't we take a break from... Here we are. Add a note. Battery. And let me change this too. Ta-da! Let's take a break from pricing those things and start opening some cards now. So today, thank you for joining, guys. Today we have Anthony Kalura sent us a new round, and this is from Tammy. So we still got Tammy cards that we're pricing. We priced a bunch last night. Lots of good stuff. And so let's put this over here. And now, oops, we'll put this in here. We still got some things with Mr. Anthony from last time, those poker decks, huh? Let's get started, guys. That was me pricing up some English Pokemon card packs. A couple sets did go down in price. One or two actually went up in price, which is strange because I was under the impression that card prices are falling slightly, but I guess not all of them. So it's an interesting test to do that. And I just want to do that live with you guys for a minute. Here we are, we're zoomed in. Let's get a rotate. Oh, look at these breaks. We got this Dratini gym break. We did a 3. Oh, it's hot in here, dude. It's hot in here. Let me tell Karis to turn the AC up. Oops. All right. Here we go. Hot in here, man. Here's what's the trip necessary. Your car's new enough. I'm sure the battery has warranty on it. Oh, this is for the old red car. And I'm just busy as heck. And I told Alexis I was going to hire somebody to replace my battery. And then I was like, wait a second. Why don't you do it? We are. Because she likes to work on that kind of stuff a little bit. And so I'm happy to give her all my money if I can. Move this out of the way. Okay. So, boop. Mister, it probably makes more sense for me to just take those poker decks back. I'm going to ship soon. No problem. All right, so this is Sean Gallagher. $170 to pay off my Fossil Slab Away pack. Fossil Slab Away pack. Okay, that's going to be down here. Turn this down a little bit now. We like the music to be a little bit loud at the beginning and then later to be a little quieter. Mr. Sean. He's done. We're going to take this and scribble Sean Gallagher. Here it is. So now your pack is paid for. Progress on the fossil box, guys. It's a big one. We could pay several more thousand in closing or have an extra $100, $200 monthly added to our mortgage. Man, just do, you're going to, those guys set the rules. You're going to pay whatever they're going to make you pay, man. It sucks. All right. $170 towards my Gengar Slab Away. Sean Gallagher, first order of the day, $340. Dang, dude. It just shows you a big part of our business here is slabs and slab away. Okay, Anthony Kalura with a very big order. He says, pay off my slab away. Can you show it off for the gang? I'll pick a new one at the start of the month. Anthony Kalura, $592 to finish off his slab away. So Anthony Kalura had, I don't know what he had. I didn't write it down. I just wrote down a huge fat number. Let's go grab that. Anthony. Let's see. Mr. Anthony. Mr. Anderson. Here is a Brad Bedell. Brandon Boutelier. Here it is. Oh, it's very good. So you got one of my Genghis. You know, this was a red label card, meaning I was selling it over the market price at the time. That was over the market price at the time. What is it today? Gym first Gengar should be whoppingly expensive. Okay, we're going to go buy high price. So the cheapest gym Gengar now It's 9,500. Well, you took a gamble on that red label card and it paid off like crazy. All right, very cool. Well, then again, it hasn't sold at 9.5, but you know, the fact that there's only ones for sale for that price probably suggests the next one to sell will go over 4.9. Very nice. The Matrix is goated. Anthony, I had that card with me since I began collecting 6 years ago. I originally bought it for a whopping $3,000. And so it really didn't appreciate as much as many other cards did, because even back then, it was a very expensive card. And it shows how some cards are, you know, they're like at a ceiling price, and it's hard for them to go much higher. There has to be like some sort of change in the perception of the value of the cards. But now the only ones of these that are for sale are like 2,000. So I think that perception on these has been changed. Their value has been mentally risen into the $10,000 area. Now you just need proof one sells for 10,000. Of course, a lot of other high-end Gengars are priced around the same area. So that's what's going on. So you're doing good with this one, I think. And I did good too. I sold it for 4.9 6 years later. It's still technically a gain. There it is. It's fascinating how that works, because you would think Gengar's the card that gives you the most appreciation, but that's not necessarily true. There it is. I had other cards that did really well as well, but I would have been just as happy to hold this one longer considering what it's done recently. Look at that. All right, whenever you ship out, you'll want to mention you have a $5,000 card, because we'll want to print a special kind of label for that. We don't want to print a simple label for that one. Okay, thank you so much. Anthony Kalura is all done with that, and we can remove this bad boy from the list. We're going to keep your name up there, though, because you're interested in another card. The value has been rising. Damn, what a great slab away. Do you have that in Japanese 10 as well? I do actually have that one in a Japanese 10. All right. Yeah, weird how a red label card actually did super duper well. Zach says an EB2 box. First order of today for a box is Mr. Zach. Zach, I got to go get more of those. Where are they? All right. So I looked it up, and I believe this is the rest of the OP EB2. There is no more after this. That means if Joshua Whipple wanted to order a case, it's too late for that. We got this many left, and then I'm sold out. So there they are. Obviously, $54 a box has been very popular. Is OP11 off the menu? Because I actually found OP11 in our... No, OP11's on the menu. All right. Good. So, we have quite a bit of the OP11 as well. That's why I mentioned that. Okay. Wow, 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 wow. All right. Oh, look at my hand. I got a little sore running there from all the slab cracking I did. I cracked a lot of PSA slabs. Those cards are going off to CGC. Some of them are a Hail Mary. Some of them are pretty borderline. We'll see what happens. I hope CGC is nice to me. But really, it's an experiment. And if the experiment goes wrong, I lose some money. But if the experiment goes right, I make some money. I guess card grading is a little bit like gambling too, isn't it? You know, opening packs is gambling. Grading cards is a little bit like gambling. Because as a person who is paying for the grading, it's too hard to tell what your borderline cards are going to do. It's too hard to tell. Grading companies can't be predicted perfectly. You can kind of take a guess. You also can't guess if when the card comes back, if the 9s are worth it, or the 8s or whatever. I opened so much I could have just bought the manga. Oh man, don't say that. Don't say that. You're gonna make me feel bad. Lexus is on her way with the car battery. All right. So here goes. How's it doing, everybody? Look at that nice Electivire Level X. He's a nice card. Okay. Weiss Journey Together, $324, $288, at $8 a pack. There is a, so there's multiple parts to it, but there's a processing fee when I sell packs, and then there's also a profit in there too. So there's 2 parts to it. Here are. For example, I don't want to sell at a break-even price because then I'll just be sitting here opening packs for free. But it's actually worse than free because what happens when something goes wrong? Maybe a pack gets opened incorrectly. Maybe product gets damaged or lost. Maybe somebody steals. Maybe somebody runs a chargeback. So breaking even is a very bad situation. You don't want to sell packs at a break-even price. You have to sell at a profit just to protect when issues go wrong. And then also you want to get paid something for sitting down and working all day. So that's the price I've determined for the packs. And you can be like, that's too high. And just focus on whatever it is you like. We have a big menu. We have a lot of great slabs. We got a lot of breaks. I actually personally think the breaks are better than opening up booster packs. I know that sounds crazy, but it's like what Zach just said. He said he could have bought the manga outright. So if the manga was a break on the table, you know, in theory, his $40 would have been better spent going into a break rather than going into these boxes. Because ultimately, when you open boxes, you don't even know if the chase card is in your case. But when you spend $40 on a break, you know you've got a guaranteed shot at the chase card that you're after. So that's one of the things I think is so clever about the breaks, plus the fact that they're already PSA 10. So that's why I call them mathematically superior to opening packs. All right, here we are. I think he's mentioning the math is off. Oh, I thought he was asking about me making money on it, on selling a pack. Yes. So there is a thing when you buy the whole box, you actually get, when you buy a whole box, you keep the box topper. That's basically it. All right. I gotta sneeze. Hold on. Actually, that's something I've been wondering about. Maybe we don't do it. Maybe we don't do it that way. Yo, here's what happened. When the set first came out, I didn't really know what to think of the box topper. And so it's been a little while longer. And I can see... Oh, I gotta sneeze. It's been a little while longer since the launch of this set. And I can see that I can restock the booster boxes with the box topper. So you're right. We're going to drop that to $288. There it is. That's right. When the set first came out, we thought maybe the box topper was like a one print wave kind of deal, and that maybe there wouldn't be very many of them. So that was what we were wondering. And I'd say like a month has passed or something like that, and it looks like they're pretty restockable, so we're not going to worry about that right now. Yeah, we thought that maybe the box topper was a rare thing. Okay, Mr. Zach. We're still wondering that, because every time they reprint it, we're not sure if they'll always reprint the box topper. Okay. Car battery. All right. There we have it. Now, these slabs, huh? Let's get a Anthony Kalura slab up here. We got Mesprit 9. Desperate Mesprit. I got runny nose after all those sneezes now. And Mesprit's sitting at, what is an English Mesprit. How did it grade? Little white dot here, little white dot there. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. So, this is going to be Mesprit 204. This Mesprit is going to sell for just around $20. Okay, $20 Mesprit. There it is. We have an order of Luke Laurie, Star Wars Galaxy 7 pack, 1 Battle Partners, last spot in the Omastar. The Omastar is over. The Omastar ended. Forgot about that, actually. But yeah, it ended last night right at the end. Mr. Luke Laurie, you've got $40 that means. Luke Laurie. Nice to see you guys. Happy Tuesday. How are you guys on this fine Tuesday? Star Wars Galaxy 7. Let's see. Oh, is this the last pack? That's the last pack. We're out. That is the end of Galaxy 7 is being removed from the menu. That was a specialty set. We paid a lot of money for that. And to its credit, it's sold through. Galaxy 7. Yep, Galaxy 7 is a very rare set. You got the very last pack of it. Sorry for all the sniffles, everyone. You heard me sneezing there. I think I'm allergic to something over here, man. I think there's something in the air over here. Feel free to do a giveaway with one of the new slabs. Heck yeah, man, let's do it. So we'll suspend our Quillfish giveaway and host a Anthony Kalura giveaway for the time being. Here is Luke Skywalker. I love this one. Darth Vader and Queen Amidala. Padme. Here's this girl with the knife. Here's this really great poster artwork. Here's a really nice Darth Vader. And here is a silver Luke coming out right at the end. So that's a hit card. I think it's better when it's the golden hit card, but silver is going to be good. Going to be better than nothing. Here's the portrait of Leia. Here's this a really amazing Darth Vader. Can you see that? There it goes. Camera trying to decide where to focus. C-3PO. Sniffle Saga returns. I'm sniffling, I'm sneezing. I seem to sneeze every time I come over here. Here's Vader. And here is Luke Skywalker. Lovely. So that's a very pricey pack, and these are all your cards now. Set that there. And now he needs a one pack of battle partners, right? All right. Where's battle partners? Here it is. Battle partners. Ooh. Very nice. We had a couple English booster pack prices fall for our Pokemon English cards. Oops. But then 1 or 2 prices are going up. But most notably, the Prismatic price is down, guys. Prismatic is down. I just ordered some more Prismatic today. Prismatic, the new set. They have that super premium collection box. Why is this so reddish? Is it because of this card? Oh, wow, that's ridiculous. That's crazy. All right. Luke Laurie. Luke, I apologize for all the sniffling. Is that okay? I'll just use the credit for Slab away. Sounds good to me. So we'll stuff this between your other square cut cards. 2 packs of square cut cards there. Luke Laurie, bag number 3. $40 to Slab away. Let's do it. Okay, Luke Laurie. Your Rayquaza goes down to $145. Okay. Now, the new clearance card. We'll tell you what. We'll let this waifu be the new star card. That's the new star card. And so now we actually have room for a new slab away, a new slab break. Let's have it be Caleb's specialty card. I don't know how this is going to work out. Where would I have even kept that card? Where did that card go? Huh, where did I keep Caleb's card? I think it was like his last card, so it's probably sitting somewhere over here. By the way, here's how I'm organizing this. Look, Anthony, I got all your cards in a box that actually says Anthony. You can't see that very well, but it says Anthony there. And then Tammy's is the unmarked box, so all of her slabs are in there. So I got your slabs perfectly divided. You know, there is a physical limit to how many slabs I can take on because we run out of room at some point. So these are Anthony. That's Caleb. All right. So put these into that box of yours. That's the Anthony box. Now this Caleb. Let me look up Eustace Captain Kidd. See what we can do with that. Okay. So Eustace ass manga. And let's see. It looks like you can grab one of these Well, it looks like you can grab one for... This says PRB1. What did this come out of? OP5? It looks like you can grab one for 410. Let me check sold. Oops. Just curious what sold looks like. Yeah. Oh, hold it here. Let me sort it by latest. All right. I'm just looking around. There's a slight price difference between the Japanese one and the English one. What can you guys tell me about that? Do people value the Japanese one more than the English one? Because it looks like the last Japanese one sold marked down from 600. And then there's a Japanese one for sale for 600. But do people really care if it's English versus Japanese? Like, what's going on with that? Is it simply that cheaper ones came onto the market? Because you can get an English one for 410. The English packs are generally more expensive than the Japanese packs. And then the first Japanese one pops up at 600. English is more valuable due to playability. Yeah, but my point is that the Japanese one costs more, not the English one. So I feel like that doesn't make sense to me. To me, that suggests that the Japanese guys haven't posted any new ones for sale. So they haven't updated their price to equalize with the English one. 410 for the English one. The Japanese one is 598. So how would that work? Does that mean that I have to sell it, buy it at the Japanese price? Because again, from my perspective, the Japanese ones are always cheaper than the English ones. I don't think language makes a huge difference. It's for the higher end mangas. English is more. So English generally sells for more. Is that true? Because then I would suggest that we should actually match the English price. The break should be based on the English price. And that's probably what I would do. You might have to refresh the menu. I'll just use the credit for Slab away. All right, you guys keep talking to me about this. Tell me what I'm supposed to do with that, because should it be the English price or the Japanese price? Because technically the Japanese price is higher, but is that just because the Japanese sellers haven't kept up with the market? Is that all that's going on there? I'm not an expert in manga selling, so I don't know. But if it was Pokemon, I would know right away. So, like Pokemon, if you had like an English Pokemon card and a Japanese one, and for some reason the Japanese one cost more, I'd be like, nah, we're copying the English price. Sell you normally would, lowest eBay listing. All right, so here is, well, what matters is the language matters. We have an order from, well, my computer's freezing up. Give me a second here, guys. Oh, something's terribly wrong with my email. What the hell? Let me try closing this and opening it back up. Ah, there it goes. Okay. So it says here we gave Alexis some money. And, aha, Mr. Garrett for solo leveling, $50. What's that? 6 packs? 6 packs. All right, solo leveling 6 packs. Mr. Garrett. You should go with the English card since it's an English price because it's an English card. Oh, it's an English card. Why did I think it was a Japanese card? Oh my God. My brain told me it was a Japanese card. Wow, I'm really stupid sometimes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, Garrett, you have $2 left over. Wow, I'm so dumb, dude. Over there, I was like twisting my hands because I was wondering. I was like, oh man, we got to get the Japanese price. It's an English card. Dude, I'm crazy, man. Also, notably, that card is from OP5, the cheapest one on the market. It looked like it was from PRB1. Let me see what that matters either. Oh, no, so... Yeah, hold on. PRB1. Those are both from PRB1. Does it matter? Ah, wait, here's one from OP5. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay. They're all roughly the same. Okay, it doesn't matter. Here goes Mr. Garrett. The PRB one is actually different and generally cheaper. Oh, okay. So we'll look that over real careful. We don't want to make any mistakes. It's his card, and so I got to do a good job making sure that we don't, you know, get too lazy about pricing it and make sure he gets what he's entitled to. PRB1 had reprinted the mangas, right, and then there was like a God pack where you could pull them off. So people generally prefer the OP5, is that right? The original version of the card. Okay. All right. Okay. And Sung Jin Woo. It's Sung Jin Woo. Look how nice. That's for our friend Garrett. Thank you, Garrett. Drill it. Yeah, we're going to put it up on the table for drilling. Boy, it sucks being inside, man, when the weather is this good. The weather is so good. A little warm almost, actually. A little toasty, but it is really pretty outside. The Missouri summer is around the corner. So this guy's name is just Garrett. Do you need a new bag, Garrett? I think he needs a new bag. Who's this over here? We got Gilbert, Gabrielle, Gavin, Game Boy something. Game Boy Guru. Gilbert Cedillo, bag number 2. Don't forget that. And a Greg Barron, bag number 2. Who's Greg Barron? We're going to shift this over to the red box. There's more space in the red box. And then also, we're going to create a new bag for Mr. Garrett. Would the Garrett be a break? Yeah, the Garrett would be a break. I'm going to buy it from him and post it as a break. It's been pouring rain here all day. Oh, Mr. Ben. You're Ben. You're over here then. Here it is, Ben. Thank you, Ben. Okay. Very good. My phone going off all day. Okay. So, let's get another card priced. This time, this is going to be a Tammy card. Yet another Suicune. Why not? Let's get it up here. We got 3 different Suicunes for you guys to pick between. This Suicune's going to be, I don't know, $25 cheaper maybe. This is a Carddass graded Suicune, so that's kind of fun, right? If you're a fan of the channel and you want to have a card that's kind of a good card, right? Suicune's good. And then also graded 10. 190, 185. Tam. So that is a card for sale by Tammy. Graded 1,216. Here's a fun fact about this card. Not only did I grade it, I also encapsulated this one. This was before John had joined us. Does it say pre-order on the back? Nope. Yeah, above 1,000, that's still me. Okay. Pretty sure. Actually, I don't know the exact number where John started doing the encapsulation. Pal Brown says he wants a draining break for Alicia. Draining break. Here it is, Dratini. And we're going to go grab Alicia. Second here. 6 is here. Hello, 6. Anthony. Nathan, Alicia. Okay, Alicia's here. Oh, we got to pull this person out as well. Zachary's challenge you for this one. Hoo-hoo. It's a nice Dratini, is it not? All right, good luck, you two. I want to slab away, but the price you mentioned the first time was way too much, says Whipple. What do you want to slab away? I opened 60 packs of Prismatic. I got a few full art trainers and 2 Master Balls. Just some data for you. Yikes, dude. You know, we watched another guy do that, Mr. Omar Faba. He spent like, I don't remember how much. It was some crazy amount, like $1,000, doing the same thing live. So he paid a little premium to open them live. And what did he get? Almost exactly the same thing, like 2 trainers and 2 Master Balls. Goldine was one of the Master Balls. Okay, good luck, you two. Zachary pulling Kadabra 60. And Alicia taking a Swampert. That's round 1 to Alicia. Round number 2, Moltres is decent. And Bulbasaur, round 2 goes to Zach. Okay, this is round 3. Round 3 is going to be, Dratini. Dratini for Dratini. And Magneton. Round 3 goes to Alicia. All right, Zach, Alicia gets the Dratini this time. Can we slab away sealed product? Sometimes. Not 100% of the time, but sometimes. There it is. And let's see. So Alicia will get a new badge. So the way we're going to do these cards in the future, we're actually going to make you a scorecard, not a badge card. And when your scorecard reaches 8, then we'll fill out a badge card for you. And I think that's a superior system because we're wasting a lot of stickers on people who do like one battle and then never bother with it again. So we don't want to do that because we'll run out of the badges too fast. So we'll do scorecards. There it is. I should win for pulling the Dratini. Says Zach. That's a funny thought. That's a funny thought. Yeah, if you actually pull a matching Pokemon. That would have been cool, though. Imagine she had pulled, like, Mankey, and Dratini beats Mankey, and then you get the Dratini. That would have been really cool. But you don't get nothing. You actually do get a card. You're going to get one of these over here. There you go. So you got a little luxury. How does that sound, Zach? Okay, Zach. So that break is over. That means the gym breaks. We got to look for another one here and there. Okay. Slabs are a big part of what we do on this channel. We got Remoraid for $25. Schwarzschuss. He's going to be cheaper. I don't want him for 25. I want him for just 20. I think he's worth 25, but I just want him to go. He's a big loss, to be honest. Real sad. Here's a Caleb Ibarra Rainbow Firo, graded Gem in 10. That's not bad. We got a Metal Mew. Those are going up in price, if you didn't know that. Here is a Master Ball. This is rising in price. There's a Master Ball Doug Trio. Why wouldn't it? It's Mew and it's a metal card. And here's Fortress 10 with no date on it. PokeRev has more slabs. No! All right, let's see. He's better than me. Okay, we have a Jesus Aguilera. He wants 2 Prismatic. Prismatic, we have lowered the price on Prismatic. I did a Prismatic restock today. And we have better pricing right now. 2 Prismatic, like made of metal. That's right, this card is made out of metal. It's shiny and it's made out of metal. See the back of the card? That is a metal card. You can only get them out of the Ultra Premium Collection. They're exclusive that way. So for 151 English, so those need to go up in price. We were actually just looking at that. We're looking at the restock price on those, I think. And we stopped looking at that, right? So here they are. Give me a second. 150. I'm gonna fulfill your order. It's gonna get slightly more expensive right afterwards. Gym break on the Metal Mew. So some prices have dropped. A couple have risen slightly. Blooming Waters is 12 packs, is it not? Let's see. All right, give me a second. Oh, dear God, please just figure this out for me. Yeah, 12 packs, okay. That's what I thought. What an exciting time. Yes, very exciting. Okay, so divided by 12. So Blooming Waters is going to be slightly more... Wait. What was that again? All right, what price do we have? It moves ever so slightly. Oh, that's the Japanese one. I was like, that's way too low. So it goes from 15 to 15.5. It's not really a significant change. We are going to take on a restock on these, though. because we are running quite low on them. These are selling out over and over again. Over and over again, we're selling out of Blooming Waters, everybody. That's what everybody wants, is Blooming Waters. Will that change over time? Will people ever slow down on these? All right. Big restock coming in. I enjoy watching your stream after a long day of work. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Good. So, Jesus Aguilera, we're going to get you another pack of this in a second. One Magical Girls box and ship my bag with the Dark Houndoom slab. Okay, so one Magical Girls box. I think I have to bring more of that in here. Oh, no, wait. We've got a box right here. But that's okay. We are going to bring more boxes of this into the room because we're going to need more. So there's Magical Girls. All right, I'll be back. I'm getting more Magical Girls, and I'm getting more 151. Don't forget, we got Magical Girls and Yuzu Soft. All right. Whew. So now we have more of the Magical Girls. Oops. Ready to go. Nice big order here. One more pack. These are from a fresh box. How nice is that? Big order from Jesus Aguilera. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. All right. How about these slabs back here? That mule sell. I know he will. Thoughts on the black and white set giving all 156 Unova Pokemon their own illustration rare? What? Yeah. Snip of that. Yuzu hard. What? Tossing this. Here's Poliwrath, Machamp, Mr. Mime. Ooh, Mr. Mime. How about that Charizard, though? Come on, Charizard. Okay. Okay, Ghastly. And, well, okay, Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur's coming out. Nice. Okay, over here we have Prismatic. Larvitar, good. Yeah, we got a restock on 151 coming because we are almost out of 151. That set just sells and sells and sells. All Unova Pokemon and every one will get an IR split between two sets. It's like Mega 151, but for Unova. That's cool. That's cool. I'm not super excited, I guess, because I didn't play Black and White. And I didn't really like the Pokemon style from that time period. So, you know, I was excited for 151 because I'm a boomer. Not as excited for Black and White because I'm a boomer. All right, here goes. I'll still buy it, and I'd love to see the designs and all that. And maybe one or two of them will be really good. Actually, I'd love to see what Shinji makes next. The artist Shinji. He did the Giratina. He did the Magikarp. He's so good, man. He did the Roaring Moon from Prismatic. Great card. So I'm looking forward to see what he makes next. He'll make anything look good. Boomers. Black and White was dope. Scolipede and Durant were great metagame additions. Scolipede and Durant. Scolipede, he's that purplish, maroon-colored Pokemon. He's like a centipede. There we are. All right, lovely. You also got like a Scavalier during that time period, didn't you? I think it was during that time period. Scavalier. Okay. This is Magical Girls, one of the fastest selling sets on the menu right now. I can't imagine why. Maybe there's two big reasons why. It's definitely because these girls have a great personality. Here it is. He's basically a bug horse. He's huge. Gen 5 is stinky. Gen 5 is stinky, he says. Look at this. This character is like almost naked. And what is she doing? Like spanking her? I think she's getting spanked. All right. That's a tentacle monster card. I don't know what to think. Yeah. Yeah, I stopped playing at Gen 5 because I was disappointed in the designs, essentially. And I just couldn't play it anymore. I was like, these designs suck. But I don't want to rain on your parade. If you really loved Gen 5 and you're excited for that gen, don't let me rain on your parade. I'm some stinky-ass boomer who just cares about Gen 1. I like Gen 1 and Gen 2 and Gen 3, and even Gen 4 has some good ones. Gen 5 is where it kind of hit the wall for me, and I said, oh my gosh, I can't take it anymore. We are. Just stopped feeling like Pokemon to a certain degree. Something about it, you know? Okay. Gen 1 to 3 is the best. Gen 6, Bad Neutered Dragons. What was Gen 6? X and Y? Yeah, X and Y comes after Black and White. Yeah. Look at this card, dude. No wonder people are opening this. Diamond Platinum were the last games I played. I'm right there with you, mister. We are. Well, I bought the actual Black and White video games. I bought them and we started. It was me and my girlfriend at the time. We started them and we just couldn't keep playing. It just came about naturally. We're like, nah, I give up. All right, let's see. Couldn't force myself to enjoy it. It certainly wasn't too difficult. Some people give up because the game's too difficult. Pokemon has the opposite problem. It's too easy. So if it's too easy, you have to play for a different reason. There has to be like Pokemon you really like in the game. You know, I'm excited to catch those new ones. There we go. I played every generation since I was a kid. Sword and Shield was the weakest, but overall, I think every Pokemon is fire. I didn't think Sword and Shield was that bad, actually. Let me look at the Sword and Shield Pokemon, because they had like Corviknight. I remember Corviknight being cool. Let's see. I didn't think Sword and Shield was bad. Sword and Shield Pokemon. The starters were kind of cringy. I didn't like the starters because they were all like humanoid. What did we get from Sword and Shield Pokemon? Here we are. So, oh no, those are exclusive. Hold on. New designs. All right, here we go. What did we get? So we got Corviknight, the sheep. That wasn't bad. You got the wolf, Boltund. You got Orbeetle. You got Dreadnought. He's the big snapping turtle. Hatterene, Cramorant, okay. Sinistea Poltergeist. I thought that was decent. Colossal, he's okay. The elephant, I don't care for the elephant. You got the gremlin thing here. Oh, Frostmoth. Snom Frostmoth I thought was good. I also liked Centiskorch. No one else seemed to like him, but I thought he was cool. Duraludon sucks. The Stonk Journer sucks. What is this? Pincurchin, he's okay. Indudu, I didn't like Indudu. Ice-Q is from this era. I actually thought Ice-Q was decent. You get Flapple. Dragapult, he's decent. You got the two fossil Pokemon, horrible. You got the legendaries. It's like the dog from Dark Souls, basically. Eternatus did suck. Eternatus was terrible. Galarian Berserker. You got the Ghost-type Ponyta. It was okay. You also got the Top Hat Weezing. He's pretty cool. Corsola as a Ghost-type. I thought that was actually very clever because of the Dying Coral Reef, right? Also the Obstagoon that was based off of the band Kiss. That was kind of clever. You've got the Snowy Darmanitan. He's okay. And then you got all the VMAX designs. There's some clever VMAX designs. Like the Snorlax was pretty cool. I don't think the Charizard's bad. And the Gengar, people seem to like the Gengar. So you got the VMAX designs. That was part of that era. And I thought those were okay. I actually think just making Pokemon Giant is not a bad mechanic. It's a simple mechanic, but somehow it works, you know? All right, let's get you shipped out. Oh, first time shipping? Okay, enough of that. We're just talking about Pokemon. Let's go ahead and get these cards open. After Gen 3-4, the popularity decreased from gen to gen. Ponyta's fairy type? I thought Ponyta was ghost type. All right, we're logged in. We're looking for your address. They changed the PayPal website. It's really confusing now. Here we are. We got a big Anthony Kalura order coming up soon. Okay, I've got your address. Boop. Let's go grab your email. It's quite heavy, so we're going to go with the heavy label as a result. You said you had a slab too, right? Plan on pricing PSA 9 Prismatic Sylveon or Raging Bolt soon. Hold on, let me get this. Raging Bolt. I don't remember that one. Oh my gosh, this post office software is so slow. After Gen 3, the Pokemon hype fell off for sure. Gen 5, they had many things going on. The Dream Park to get hidden abilities was neat but time-consuming. This? Well, I felt like people were still playing Gen 4. There we go. Gen 4, that was like Giratina. It was still kind of cool, you know? Giratina is one of the best-selling cards. Giratina, however you want to pronounce it. One of the best-selling cards from Sword and Shield. So he's still cool, right? Arceus Giratina. The designs are, they feel different, but they're still pretty cool. Delibird. Nidoran. Alone Executor. Psyduck, Golduck. And Decidueye. The CGC Dark Houndoom. Okay, let's see. We have an order now from Anthony Kalura. 2 spots in the Mega Sublist. All right, the Mega Sublist. It's going to be right over here. Gives you a chance for that Mew. There it is. 1, 2. Miss 6, 2 solo leveling. 6? You got 1. There's 1 solo leveling. Wait, you want another one now? Were you like always wanting another one? I didn't have another open box laying somewhere, did I? Okay. I remember hacking the flute into the game to encounter Arceus. They never added it. He was always given out at events. I want them all. Okay, solo leveling continues to sell. I was cleaning up, and I remember we got some first edition Azure Lane Volume 1. First edition, first print wave. Ooh, Sung Jin Woo. I'm tempted to sell through that, because originally I think my plan was to hold it. But again, we're trying to reduce all the cards we have so that we have less cards to move when we do move. This. Miss 6. Here we are. Ooh, good. And how about this? How about a Anthony Kalura card here? So this is a Master Ball Sylveon, right? And actually, I think all we have to do is add a price tag to it. Master Ball Sylveon, everybody. It's a good one. That's the kind of card that's definitely going to sell. Master Ball Sylveon. We want the cheapest version of it. So I watched You Only Live Twice. I watched the ending to that, and wow, that is a very racist movie. Guess it was made in 1967, so that was just how it was. They had this portion of the movie where James Bond dresses up in like yellowface, I guess it's called, yellowface. They even made his eyes squinty. It was so like, it was like ridiculous. It was so crazy to watch. Brad Bettle towards Slab Away, $50. Mr. Brad, you got it, Brad. Okay. Your Slab Away goes down to $590. By the way, Brad, we changed the rules. You no longer have to do that extra 50 cents, though I appreciate you doing that. It covers PayPal fees. The fee for that order was $1.51. Did you know that? So yeah, PayPal fees cut into my profits always. But for Slab Away, you no longer have to do that. That's a rule from a long, long time ago, and I want to save you a little money. I just consider the fee part of the cost. So there's a difference between my gross profit and my net profit. After fees, my net profit is smaller than my gross profit. But sometimes that's considered when I price up the card. So saving you a little bit of money there. But for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, a long time ago when we started Slab Away, we had some rules about when you make a payment, you have to do like a little 50-cent fee because of the PayPal fees. And the reason we had that was because at the start of it, we had some guys who were paying it down like $5, $10 at a time. And so if you have like a $500 slab and you're doing $10 payments, I mean, you're talking like 50 payments. And that turns into $25 of PayPal flat fees, right? The 50-cent flat fee. And it's just a lot of money. You can't make any money selling cards that way. But we did that a long time ago. It's not that big of a deal. It's not actually that common for people to do that. Most people like to make big payments. Okay, Anthony Kalura says box of Journey Together, no hollers or basic EXs. You got it, Mr. Anthony. So we have lowered the price on the full box of the Journey Together. And now you get the box topper if you buy a whole box. When we initially priced that, we didn't really know if those box topper boxes were like a one-time deal that were like super rare or something like that. But now it's been a little while longer, and we're more confident that that's not the situation. Okay, so before we go any further, I'm going to first restock Journey Together. We're going to take a restock on Journey Together. Back then, you didn't care about that stuff. Didn't care about what? Oh, I care. Let's go get you a box of Journey Together. I had to do a deep clean of this room and get some of these shelves back so I can store more of the product in the room. Gets cluttered with little things. All right, cool. Slabs are great for a couple of reasons. You get the exact card and grade you want. You don't pay for the grading at a random chance out of 10. Yeah, slabs are the best way to collect, in my opinion. Some people really disagree with the idea of graded cards. I do not. I'm a graded card guy. I always have been. When I started 6 years ago, that was what I was all about, and I'm still about it today. What I have to say about the people who are very negative about graded cards, if you listen to them and you didn't buy any graded 10s over 6 years, you pretty much missed out on one of the biggest improvements in value in cards, probably in the history of Pokemon cards. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got slabs that went up in price times 12. The raw version of the card didn't do that. All right, they went up too, but the problem is there's a big difference between a PSA 10 and a lightly played version of the same card. Big difference. So you missed out on a lot of money if you took other people's advice and said, oh, I'm not going to collect any graded cards. It's like, well, more for me then. You are. All right. That's why PSA is backed up to the limit, because as it turns out, there's a lot of people who prefer to have their cards graded rather than raw. You could collect raw cards. But here's the problem. When you start dealing in the truly special cards in the hobby, like let's say, you know, maybe like a card like this or a card like this one, it's really nice to be able to hold the card and say, well, it's been determined that this card is gem mint by a third party, and so it has some extra deterrence against counterfeits, and a third party decides the quality of the card, so you and the seller don't have to debate over the quality. So that's why graded cards are so important. And so there's a lot of negative people out there, and some people are really angry about grading sometimes. And if you listen to all that negativity and you missed out on graded cards over the last couple of years, I can only feel sorry for you, because you just missed out on a huge wealth transfer for people who sat on a lot of graded cards. But you can also, if you don't want graded cards, you can do booster boxes. You can do ungraded cards. You can do raw cards. Here we are. They all do well, so you don't have to do graded, but I just think that when it comes down to it, nothing's better than like my PSA 10 Gold Star Charger. There's just nothing better than that. Like, who cares about all the raw versions? I don't care about them. I just want the one that's actually been graded 10. Same with like Gengars and stuff like that. Or like, I got that Southern Island Mew, and I know he almost never grades 10. So it's like, which Southern Island Mew do I want? The cheap raw one, or the one that's graded 10 and almost impossible to grade? Also, which one would you predict has the largest spike in price over time? Well, it's going to be the graded one. Kind of like PSA 10 first edition base set Charizard. When price discovery began on that card, what do you think happened to the raw version versus the PSA 10 version? Well, the PSA 10 version exploded. That's what happened, because it turned out people want that premium on the 10. All right, so here's Bagon. So yes, you've missed out if you've been listening to all the negativity around graded cards. I'm sorry you got hooked into that. YouTubers can be very convincing. Maybe I'm sounding convincing right now. But the difference is the data shows that PSA 10s, when price discovery occurred on them, they shot way up. Way, 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 way up. Here's Zora. I got another example for you. I got a bunch of those Dark Dragonite from Rocket Returns. Those are all graded 10. Those are priced at ridiculous prices now that beat the raw version. So it's like, what do I want to sit on? A bunch of ungraded Dark Dragonites that are all going to grade 9, 8, 7, 6? Or a bunch of PSA 10 Dark Dragonites? Well, the PSA 10 Dark Dragonite returns, those are going to be the ones that have huge price discovery, and they're going to shoot way up, because it'll turn out there's very few of them. So those are my thoughts on that subject. It's an opinion. You don't have to agree with the opinion, but I think the data shows that, you missed out if you avoided slabs, in my opinion. The data shows that, I think. Here it is. I say my opinion, but maybe you can find some examples that don't agree with that. But yeah, you can just sit on a case of Pokemon booster boxes. I will say one thing about sitting on cases, not as exciting, very boring. You have to wonder why people open those cases. Why is there a market for those booster boxes? The bottom line is, the only reason people open those boxes is because they're trying to pull this. So this is what drives the demand. If that card wasn't there in that box, there'd be no demand. So you can't separate the booster boxes from the slabs as a form of investment. Which I think some people do that. They just want you to buy booster boxes, and it's like, also bad advice. Here it is. Booster boxes do well. They're pretty consistent, actually. Booster boxes are. The problem, there is a complexity to slabs. Like, some slabs do better than others, right? So, but, if you're really in the thick of it, you kind of learn that. Sure. Like, there was a time period before everyone knew that alternative arts were going to do very well. And for a while, it was rainbow rares were doing very well. So, and then there was a shift toward alternative arts, and it was like, whoa. The shift was all of a sudden, it was huge. All right. I feel like slabs are great. You get the exact card and grade you want. You don't pay for the grading and the random chance at 10. Let's see. Talking about black and white, I just bought a PSA 10 on eBay. When I got it, it looked like a 9 at best. PSA was definitely giving away 10s. I wouldn't sweat that. I wouldn't sweat that. You know why? Because when you list it for sale, it will sell as a 10. That's the truth. Like, I sold a Gold Star Magikarp. A Shining Magikarp. First edition Shining Magikarp from Neo Revelation. I think I sold it for like $4,000, I think. And when I bought it, I think I got it for like $3,000 or $3,300. And he had a bunch of white dots on him on the back of the card. And it just did not matter. He just sold. And he's going to sell again. It just won't matter. What matters is that 10. And so, the OCD part of your brain says, gosh, I only want this card to be perfect. But you have to allow for some older cards to have a little bit of flaw on the card and still count as gem mint. So here's one now, the cheapest one, 5.6. So I sold it to that guy for like 4. I think it was like 4. And so he's up. He's up almost 2,000 now for having bought the Magikarp off me at the time. And he bought it from me as a red label too, I think. I can't remember. So he's up. And then it goes to 6.9. And do you think it's going to sell even though it's got a little white dot on the back? It doesn't matter. It's going to sell. It's going to sell. Somebody's going to say, that says 10, so I want it. And so, yeah, I wouldn't be afraid. I just call them weak 10s. And if you got a card that's a weak 10, just sell it at the cheapest price. Now, if you got a card and it's vintage and you think it's a strong 10, what you can do is ask for a little premium. You can say, hey, take a look at the corners, look at the edges. This one has a big swirl on it. Look at the centering. It's near perfect. And you can make an argument kind of like this. You can say this card is better than Gem Mint. It's actually like pristine. And so that's why companies like CGC and BGS and Tag Grading and SGC, that's virtually all of them, right? They all have a higher grade over Gem Mint. PSA is the only one that won't do it. So I think PSA is just being stubborn and stupid. But yeah, we would love to have a pristine grade, because if there was a pristine grade, now you can ask for a premium over Gem Mint to say, hey, this is better than Gem Mint. This card here is actually super clean. But since PSA doesn't do that, you kind of have to wonder sometimes, or just assume that all of the PSA 10s you're buying could probably be weak 10s. I don't really think about it too much because PSA cards are in the lead right now. They just sell, 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 sell. But if PSA was not in the lead, yeah, you'd want to pay real close attention to the quality of the card you're buying when you buy a 10 from them, a Gem Mint, because some Gem Mints are better than others. Do you think the price of prismatic will go down? Traditionally, cards will hit like kind of a low point when a really good competing set comes out. So like prismatic is still sort of in rotation, is still in print. And we got new sets like black and white coming out that's going to pull people's attention away. So traditionally, prices will slowly fall. But the problem is when you look at the prices on the prismatic slabs, they're already kind of low compared to the actual cost of opening them. So you can do sort of like a cost analysis of how difficult it is to pull a card. How difficult is it to pull like the Crown Umbreon? It's like near impossible, correct? And then how much is the cost of the product? And so you can do a sort of like a price analysis and realize prices are already kind of low, even at what they're at. And so it's a painful price for the average person too, though. That's part of the complexity. In other words, some people can really afford expensive cards, but most average people, average collectors with normal middle-class jobs, $70,000, $40,000, $25,000 incomes, they got a kid or two, they got a mortgage, they got a car loan, they got healthcare bills, they got a college bill, they got a car loan. Normal people can't afford, $3,000 Umbreon. And so that's the only thing keeping his price low. But if you compare his price to the cost of actually pulling that Umbreon, he seems kind of cheap almost. So my perspective on prismatic is I would not bet on it getting a lot cheaper, but it's still possible. It's possible just because they keep printing it. And so we don't know how much they're going to print. Like if they printed 1 million more of those Umbreons, then yeah, it doesn't really matter how difficult he is to pull. He is going to be pushed down in price because they printed 1 million of them. If they don't print 1 million of them, the price could rise. So really it's up to Pokemon to decide how many Umbreons exist, because one day they'll stop printing it. One day they'll say, all right, that's not in rotation. So we can kind of examine what Pokemon's been doing. Ooh, that's the end of the box. All right. Pokemon has been reprinting 151 and even Sword and Shield Crown Zenith for a while. So we can only assume they're going to do that with Prismatic too. And despite that, prices can remain steady or high on Prismatic. And if it ever dips too low, people will just gobble it up. Here it is. All right, we got Bellybolt, Salamence, Blaziken, Mamoswine, beautiful Lycanroc, Furret, and Zoroark. There's that nice Reshiram. I got more boxes if you want to keep going, okay, Mr. Anthony? All right, appreciate the order, man. No Altart this time. LMEA, no way. Hey, what's up, Mr. Jose E. Dominguez? I'm Dominguez, too. I already think Sealed Prismatic is good. Yeah. We are. Well, you have to think, I mean, the other big sets like Hidden Fates, that was never really cheap, was it? Or, Celebrations was never that cheap. Champion's Path was never that cheap. So, yeah, I think that there's a certain premium to Prismatic. And the question is, will it go away? Well, with how the demand is on that set, I think it's basically evolving skies. And I would not bet on the price going way down because it's too fun to open. Baggy number bazillion. Ta-da! What do we do with all your stuff? I think you're up here. I like Prismatic a lot. I actually bought the Umbreon the other day, but I'm waiting for it to get here. The guy I bought it from, he actually warned that he's not going to ship it for like 2 weeks. I don't know why, but I just went with it. Anthony Kalura, 1 box. Glory with the side of Mewtwo. No hollows. Oh, right. You said no hollows on this one. Here we go. I'm going to take those hollows out. Appreciate it. That'll make your bag way slimmer. And actually, we'll probably be able to combine this with your other bag. But let's go ahead and open up that Glory of Team Rocket. Yeah, I bought the Umbreon. I think I got it for 2.6. Because I know I'm going to want him eventually either way. So I don't know if he goes down a lot or if he goes up or down. But I'm just going to have one. It's very hard to time the market, but we got lots more Prismatic releasing, so if you're patient, you might get them at a better price than I did. Mister, what's the Brilliant Box at? We got a Brilliant Box battle. We need 5 more people to join it. It's $40. You get a whole box of Brilliant Stars. I don't know why you wouldn't join that. Those boxes are going up, up, up in price. You don't have to worry at all about whether that box is going to appreciate. It's definitely going to appreciate. Brilliant Stars contains an alternative art Charizard in it, and so you'd have to be really bad at this to not assume Brilliant Stars doesn't double or triple over time. It will definitely do that. Okay, and so that's a 1 in 10 odds to pull a whole box, kind of like opening a $40 booster pack, and those booster packs pay out 1 every 10 times, so you hope to be the lucky guy, but you might miss. If you miss, it would just be not fun. These are RNG products. A booster pack is an RNG product. It's a way to have fun trying to get lucky. But if you don't want any RNG, you can go out and just buy yourself a box of Brilliant Stars. So you have to think about this channel. It's an RNG channel. It's a place to have a little fun. It's entertaining. You don't want to be entertained and you don't want to have a little fun. Just go buy the box. You are. You don't even need me. I'm just some stinky guy talking to you. All right. There we go. All right. Some horrible stinky guy. All right. I'd love to have you guys roast me for a day. I think that'd be fun if you roasted me. Roast me in the channel. You are? But if you say anything to me, you're banned. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That is the opposite of a roast. I bought a slab off of GS. I got it. It's all cracked. I need to buy slabs from you. We are cold. From GameStop? All right. Here it goes. 1 whole box of Team Rocket. Wobbuffet. Cold. Goribus. I wish I had like an apprentice who I was teaching to take over this channel one day. Here we are. First time here, Killer Doom. What's up, man? Giovanni in this box, Mr. Anthony Kalura. You got Giovanni. I think you say you don't like the GXs too, don't you? There you go. I don't know if Mr. can handle the roast. No, I like it. I like the roast. The roasts are good. There you are. Here's Articuno. I've been roasted pretty badly already. People send some pretty hateful messages, so I've heard pretty much everything there is to hear. Here's Orbeetle. You just don't see those messages. I don't like post them to the public. Here's the Doggy. You're too smart with your money. Boom roasted. Does the 151 come from a booster bundle? It comes from Blooming Waters. Is the booster bundle better, or is the Blooming Waters better? Maybe that's got to be superstition to say one's better than the other. That's definitely just superstition. It is. Here's Nato King. Oh, it has cracks in it, and it's shipped in a small box. I don't know how it happened. That sucks, man. Yeah, sometimes slabs get cracked and damaged during shipping. The trick is to contact them, let them know what happened, take pictures, document it, and just let them know what happens, and they'll get you a refund or they'll repair it or something. I'm sure they will. They don't want you to be mad and lose out on your business in the future. So, you know, if you just put up some effort, they'll give you a fix. That's the same here. You know, sometimes we do our best to ship your stuff well. Sometimes, you know, the post office stomps on your box or they roll over it with their vehicle, whatever it is, and your slab gets damaged or broken, or they throw it really hard. Somebody hits it with a baseball bat. And if that happens, just contact me and ask me to repair it. I'm going to try and fix it for you because I don't want your business to go away from me permanently. I want you to like what you're getting over here. All right. Mister's hairline is crazier than a lollipop that got dropped on the floor. Boom, roasted. Should I invest in Evo Skies? My local shop is selling booster box for $1,500. That is a great question. I would say no. I'm not buying any Evolving Skies. I'm just sitting on the ones that I already have. I think they're kind of at a price where it's a good price to start opening them for content creators and crazy break people who like to break stuff like that. But no, I wouldn't say now's the time to invest in Evolving Skies. I think that Evolving Skies, you know, it'll probably do decently well over time. I just think it's already at this high ceiling price where it won't move as fast as some other things. It is Anthony Kalura. All right, Anthony. Anthony, your bag. There you go. Very nice. All right, let's get these rotated. Actually, this is bad, this is bad. Let's find some other bad ones. Those are fresh. Here's a 9 Noctowl. He's bad. Murkrow never sells. He's bad. And here's a 9 Finn and Jake for $10. So we're going to take a picture of this and pull this off the table now. What we do, we take a picture of this and we post it to our Discord server. And do you understand what that means? It means you can go there and go shopping for them. You can actually see all the things we've taken a picture of before. There you go. All right. These go into a box. And we take an additional picture of the Murkrow. The Murkrow is an actual vintage slab. So I try to have some vintage slabs all the time. Okay, here he is. He's a reverse foil 10 from Sky Ridge. How often do I have Sky Ridge cards for sale? Should have given Expedition Story a chance. Mister, do you know the Magikarp from Paldea has gone down about $35 in the last month? $35? I'll probably buy another one if it gets too cheap. I absolutely love that card. It must be the best Magikarp card I've ever seen in the hobby to this day. It is just fantastic. It's kind of freaky good. How about a new expensive slab? What do we got? It says we got Vulpix back here. Okay. This is Carddass Vulpix, part of the Carddass collection, drawn by the artist Ken Sugimori, who was the original manga artist for Pokemon. And he drew a whole series of these. They were all drawn by him, and they're very cute. Okay, it looks like this card is $165. This also tends to be very low pop. I'm big on these Carddass collections. I have huge amounts of the ungraded cards, which are going to be processed over time. Here it is. But I just sell them on the table every now and then. Most of them don't grade 10. They're very hard to grade 10 on. Okay. That's really not that expensive. $165. I thought that would be pricier. And let's go ahead and grab another card from Mr. Anthony Kalura. It looks like we were trying to do a break on this one. Oh, and he won the break. Is that right? Got it. So now this goes up for sale. Pikachu. I remember, this is a card that I graded, and he pulled out of a break. I keep typing in Pillachu. I want to type in Pikachu. All right, this Pikachu, $60. $60. I'll make it 62. I like this one, and I think it's going to sell. 62 on that Pikachu. We have an order from Zachary Stekskowski. F it. Finish off the EV2. 6 boxes and ship me out. Holy. Oh my God. 6 boxes of EV2, guys. Zachary's going for it. He wants to know if a manga comes out of here. I'm scared for you, Anthony. All right, let's see what happens. We'll do it live. How much is it for a box of Blooming Waters? How many packs in Blooming Waters? Does anyone remember? Is it 15 or 12? Blooming Waters is the Hololive set. I got some good news about that one. That is a 1,000% fresh case. That'd be the first box coming out of it. That's a good situation for you. I think it's the first box. Might be the second. I know a signature hasn't come out of the case. Okay, that's what I'm trying to tell you. No signature is pulled. And so I don't know how many packs are in the box, though. Does anyone remember? Another thing to cross off the menu. Yes, this was part of our moving sale. We are eliminating back stock until we have less and less and less. We don't want to have much left over when it's time to move, just the core stuff. Okay. It all kind of adds up, you know, when you have a million sets just lining the shelves, lining the floor, lining the walls. It all adds up. So getting rid of all this is a big priority for us. We want to move maybe like within 1 year. That gives us some time to save. It gives us some time to think. We still don't really know where to move, to be honest. It's a subject we talk about a lot live. We have the ability to move virtually anywhere at all. Anywhere. And so when you have that level of freedom, what do you choose? Because you're not tied down to any job. There's no job holding you in place. You just move anywhere. Take your job with you. What do? You move maybe to the most beautiful place, or you move to a place everyone's trying to get into, or you move to a place with a lot of amenities, or you move to a place with a lot of natural beauty. Maybe you move to a place, ooh, here we go, we got this girl. Maybe you move to a place that's very, 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 very cheap, but your earnings do not change, so now you've got a high income and a low cost of living. Technically, if you wanted that, I think you'd move to some place like Iowa. I'm not super excited for a place like Iowa or West Virginia. But if you move to Iowa, West Virginia, now you're like the wealthiest person in Iowa, West Virginia. So that's a strategy, is to just move somewhere where your money goes a really far away. I don't know. Move to India, New Hampshire. Mister would like Irvine, California. There's a lot of people here that tell me to move to California. I think California is maybe growing up in the Midwest my whole life, you hear a lot of negative things about it, and you go, "Oh no, I'd never move there." But to be completely real about it, the income tax is pretty bad. We would lose so much of our income to that income tax. But I guess it would be a trade-off. It seems like it would be better to live in California if you didn't make too much money. So like if you had maybe like a home you inherited, so you're not making home payments, so you don't need a big job, so you get a basic job, you have a home you've already inherited, and you're not paying too much taxes. That seems like the perfect setup over there. All right. Or if you have like one of those cool jobs at like Google, and so you want to live near Google, that's a different story. That's like a lifestyle. Just move to where you'll be happy, stressing 5%. Yeah, that's another one. So we could move to the state where people are happiest. Did you know that's actually Hawaii? Hawaii ranks as the happiest state. Hawaii also ranks as the state with the longest life. So people live the longest in Hawaii. So that's an interesting statistic. However, I have another theory for that. My theory is that you have to be kind of well off to live there. And so wealthy people just get good health care. But the other theory is that the food is healthier and you go outside more often because there's no wintertime. And you have like all this water sport and just outdoor activities. You know, you just go walking any day. And so walkable areas is a big deal for us. So yeah, we've considered Hawaii. We really have. It's considered one of the most expensive states, but the cost might be worth it just because of the health benefit. You know, like what would you spend to be healthy? It's like, I don't know, maybe a lot. Are you still thinking about Charleston? Charleston, South Carolina, and Myrtle Beach, South Carolina are sort of like an option where you can buy a prestigious sort of like home by the ocean and not pay California or Hawaii prices. And the tax rate is lower. The tax rate in South Carolina is comparable to Missouri. So the cost of living would remain maybe similar. And if the area has been sort of like found out by the internet and everyone's moving there, this could also lead to house prices being driven up rapidly. So if you buy a house now, maybe over 5 years, you see a lot of appreciation because you chose the place like a meme stock, right? You choose the right meme stock, you make good money. All right, there's the Flying Boot Man in box number 2. So box number 2, Bootman. So those are some considerations. If you pick the house in the place that everyone's trying to get into, maybe you see massive appreciation. Utah saw that. If you were living in Utah and you just stayed there and you're just a native Utah resident, and then all these Californians came over, your house exploded in value. And that was a great thing for you. It was a great investment, it turned out. Where does that happen next is the question. So that's kind of like more like a financial move, very similar to just trying to save taxes. Will that happen in California? I don't know. Will that happen in Hawaii? I don't know. Maybe those aren't the places that are going to explode the most. I would say one thing about them is they're already so expensive that it's very hard for people to push the price even higher. There'd have to be some really rich people moving in all the time. But there's a limit to how much money is in the world. And maybe some rich people are trying to get out of those places because the tax rate's just really tough. You need more than $4,000 a month for majority of California. We are. All right, what we got? I think we earn enough as long as Karis doesn't quit her job. You know, she's been working as a software engineer for 8 years, and she gets a raise every year. And she's like a level 3 software engineer now. She like manages people and everything. So she's not a small earner. She's doing quite good. And then I run a little card shop, and I'm like a gambler. You know, I buy product and I gamble on it going up. And it did. I won. The gamble turned in my favor. So I think we could probably do that. $4,000 a month. Even if it was more costly than Missouri, and I'm sure it is. It is. The real question is, can we mimic that quality of living in California somewhere else? All right, here goes. I live in Utah. It's so crowded now that people are moving here from other states. Yeah, Utah was kind of discovered. It's kind of like one of those almost Midwest type states, but not quite. You guys are more like in the mountains. But you guys have a combination of natural beauty like mountains and lakes, and so it's very pretty, and people are looking for an option to pay less taxes and live by natural beauty anyways, and be able to afford more home for the same dollar. So like when you're studying these places, one of the things you notice during the research is how much per square foot you get per dollar, right? Like in California, it could be like $800 per square foot. But then in a place like Iowa or Oklahoma City, it's like $100 per square foot. I mean, that's a huge difference. You're getting 8 times as much home. Are you 8 times happier in California? That's the tough part. Like, you're not sure. It's really tough to determine because it's sort of like a gamble itself. It's sort of like a bet on what makes you happiest. It's like a question, where's paradise? What is paradise and what does it look like? How do we optimize for paradise with the money that we do have? You'll make a set amount of money over your lifetime. So how do you optimally spend that money? Maybe the money is optimally spent in California. Maybe the money is optimally spent in Hawaii. That would be maybe the conventional wisdom. But maybe the not so conventional wisdom is, I don't know, some stupid place like Oklahoma City. They got Golden Corral. They got malls. They got outdoor pools. They got places you can walk with natural. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's the question is, how much is your money getting for you when you overspend by so much in California? Is it really getting you that much? And it's hard to say because I haven't lived in Oklahoma City. Most of us have not. I haven't lived in California either. And I have lived in Missouri. So I just have I have my perspective and that's it. And people in California will probably be like, nah, Oklahoma City's, it's tits, it sucks. And, but you know, maybe somebody living in Oklahoma City says, it's the best over here. I'm not leaving. Why would I leave? It's the best. I could buy a home for $200,000 in Oklahoma. Why would I leave? You know, so it's really hard to say. What do you guys think of all that? Rudy's Pokemon bathroom is paradise. All right. Ooh. Okay, 3 boxes remain. 3 boxes. Oh, yeah. California is pretty worth it, if you ask me. Here we are. Well, another thing we can look up is migration trends and patterns. And what they found was the #1 state that's getting moved into is not California. It's actually Florida. And then the #2 state is still not California. It's actually Texas. And Utah's on that list somewhere. South Carolina's actually on that list. So is North Carolina. So the net migration is not going into California. It's actually coming out of California. But maybe it's just a price thing. Maybe it's like people who are priced out are giving up. So it's complicated to understand that data. But I would tell people who are living in California right now, it's like what you must be really paying for is the ocean, the hills and the mountains and the desert and all that stuff. Because if you're just paying to have like shopping centers and restaurants, a lot of cities actually have most of those things. I've watched very carefully all of the amenities in places like California because I study like these walking tours. California walking tours look very similar to other cities, if you didn't know that. And then there's the weather too, right? So the weather. All right, you ready? So, you know, that might be it. Like the benefits of California might be so marginal, but the cost so, what's the word? Price gouging. So the benefits might be marginally small, but the cost of living might be like price gouging. And so that's got people going, that's it. I'm going to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Screw this place. Or that's it. I'm going to Naples, Florida. It's prestigious. There's giant homes and I pay no state tax. So that might be what's going on to explain the data behind the migration trends in America. Here it is. But I don't know. I don't know where I fit in. I think it's personality too. Like, what's your personality? Like, if you're very, very sort of like open and maybe like liberal, maybe that desire to be in California is just politically based. You know, like if you think of like maybe some of the reddest states, you go, ooh, get me out of here. I don't want to be here. Surrounded with the wrong people. All right, tossing this away. It's politics too. I don't really care about the politics so much though. You'll notice I don't talk about the politics when I talk about states. I do talk about taxation and finances a lot, but that shows you what I'm looking for. The politics don't matter as much to me. I'll move to a blue state or a red state, doesn't matter. But the money does matter. I want to know that I get more for my dollars and we're just spending our money in an optimal way. Here we are. Living in SoCal, you can see bands you always wanted to see. They may not go and have a tour date in Missouri. That's really interesting, but you should know something about me. I'm basically a hermit. I mean, I basically go to maybe like 1 or 2 events per year for a whole year. Like we saw Tom Segura in Camdenton, Missouri. He was like 15 minutes down from my home. And I hated it. I was like, I hate being here. I hate sitting in this stupid little chair. And I was like, we're not doing that again. So that's me. I guess I'm not an outdoorsy type too much. So that's something I consider too. Maybe I'm a big house kind of person. You just have like an indoor gym. You know what I would love? A house with an indoor pool. Oh my God, dude, that'd be insane. Indoor climate controlled pool. Holy, that'd be so good. All right, here we are. But yeah, I don't really go out too much at all. I've gone to, how many music things have I gone to? 0. I've gone to 0 music things. I've gone to Broadway plays, though. I've gone to Broadway plays. Those are all right. Here we go. I also hate having to share with people. Like, for example, in a busy crowd, I hate lines. It makes me want to twist my hair off of my head. And I hate it when, like, you're in some sort of dispute with, like, a neighbor over some stupid thing. I get very annoyed by neighbors. So, you know, maybe that's why having a little more space and a bigger house, not so crammed together, sort of appeals to me to some degree. And you can have that in California. You just have to live in the right place. But I think that overall, maybe a state where the houses are cheaper and more spread out might appeal more to me. All right, you ready? You don't have a favorite band? I basically have one band, and I listen to them like religiously all the time. And it's just 9 Inch Nails, and that's it. My phone is full of 9 Inch Nails, and that's about it. And I've heard all the songs like a million times. And I don't really listen to a lot else. Coldplay, maybe a little bit of Radiohead. There's not a lot that I listen to. Just 9 Inch Nails for some reason all the time. You are? Mr. likes to be in the middle of nowhere, but also hates being in the middle of nowhere. No, I actually really like amenities, and I don't like being in the middle of nowhere. I like having a lot of amenities. I didn't grow up in the countryside. I grew up in the suburbs of Missouri. I grew up in a place with a lot of things to do and a lot of people in it. And the houses were decently spread out, but not crammed either. It wasn't urban. It was suburban. All right. Snipping this. I think suburbia is perfect. People just get a little bit more room and still lots to do, you know. Countryside living is not for me. It's for somebody who likes riding horses and farming or something like that. Riding horses, farming, shooting off fireworks, and generally having very few laws. Because when you live out in the middle of nowhere, you can do just about anything. You wanted more space and more money for your buck. That would be mostly middle of nowhere. No, that's not true. Like if you're in Missouri, you can buy like a big house with acreage right next to the city. You probably can't do that in a place unless you're like a multi-millionaire. Probably can't do that in a very expensive place like California. But like if I showed you some homes in Missouri, you get some big, beautiful homes in Missouri with a lot of land around them and be like 10 minutes from the center of St. Louis. So, but those will cost like $1.5 million. Here we are. So you can get something like that. I don't like to be crammed. I don't like townhomes, for example. No way, dude. Townhomes. What? I'm not a peasant. No. I hate living in a shared building. It's the worst experience. You gotta listen to everyone else. I'm very quiet, by the way. Karis and I are very quiet. We don't make a noise. We're like mice. We're very quiet. We stay out of things. But you gotta listen to everyone else's problems. I just want to, again, just scream. Even just a little bit of noise that I didn't want to hear, I go crazy over. It drives me nuts. A little bit of noise that doesn't belong there. Here we are. Actually, noise seems to bother me a lot. I noticed that. Karis noted that. I hate it when somebody is disturbing the calmness. You know, like if I love ambience, I love nice and quiet and peacefulness. So if you're going to play like music, play something that's real peaceful or like calm or relaxing. You got people want to play like the loudest, most annoying music ever. And it's like, what are you doing, bro? I like music that's calming and relaxing. We are. They got like a dog and the dog's just barking his head off all day long, 24/7. You guys lived in an area like that? I've lived in an area like that where the dogs bark all day. Just never stop barking. 24/7 barking. There it is. All right. Townhomes, condos, depends. I'm in a condo and only share one wall. We don't hear anything. Oh, that's good then. That's good. Ooh, all right. We got another one of these, Mr. Zach. Big order for Mr. Zach. We're hoping for a manga, but so far no manga. Better play Tool. Tool's okay. I don't know how I like Tool. There we are. They had, what was the name of the Tool's music? They had the one where he's singing about being drunk. Parabola or something like that is another song. And then they had the one where he's Vicarious or something like that. Vicarious. Tool's okay. Yeah, the problem with Tool is he does like one good album and then he's gone forever. So, you know, I don't think his music's bad. It's just not enough music. He should have made more. Rammstein just has the one song Sunny or something like that, right? Which they made for like a boxer or something, or I don't remember. But he just plays that song over and over again. The rest of his music's just okay. All right. Ooh, you should move to Japan. Konnichiwa. No, I wouldn't like that at all. I wouldn't like that at all. I wouldn't mind visiting Japan once or twice, but I would not live there. It is. I would live in Switzerland. Switzerland. That sounds amazing. If I had to live abroad, I'd pick a place like Switzerland or just Switzerland. Yes. I feel like Switzerland, they appreciate having architecture that's just a little more expensive because they worked on making sure it looks good. And they don't clutter things up. They don't build like ugly things. They don't allow it probably. And they do seem a little more spread out. And then, of course, they have like this absolute advantage because of the Alps. They have these really beautiful mountains. Now, Austria has that too, and I would go to Austria. But also, I really don't mind the German language. I think it's a very pretty language. I like how German language can go from sounding really festive, if you're like at a beer fest, to very like angry. It has almost like a fairy tale like quality to it. Did you notice that? German has like a fairy tale like quality to the sound. French is very romantic. I hate it. I hate French. I can't stand listening to French. It drives me so crazy when I hear it. French. Oh, oui, oui. Mademoiselle. And then, Japanese is decent. I think Japanese is decent. German's got to be one of my favorites. It sounds like a fairy tale kind of language. There it is. Listen to King Gizzard. I hate King Gizzard. French is cute. Nah, French is snobby, dude. What are you talking about cute? They're snobby, dude. You are? Let's see. Nothing. Ultimately, I don't have anything against other languages at all. Everyone's got different languages. Spanish, French, German, Japanese, Korean, Chinese. Chinese have a lot of different dialects, I guess. But I don't have anything against all the other languages. I just think German's one of my favorite sounding languages for some reason. It almost sounds like really precise, like a clock. And I like that. And I like the fairy tale sound. Yeah, I don't know. It just appeals to me. Here it is. Deep voice Germans. Make Germany great again. Oh my God. Oh, look at this. Ha ha. All right. Who's posting that? All right. French does sound kind of cute. Here we go. Very nice. I heard Kanye West was making music. German music. Jesus, dude. Set this here. Okay. Well, Mr. Zachary, to me, that does not look like a manga rare. That shows you how difficult mangas are, everybody. Mangas are extremely difficult. Yeah, but they love calling German people blank. It is. I kind of feel bad for the Germans because all of the people who are alive today who are German are not responsible for what happened in the past. And they still kind of have to live under like the dark cloud of that. It's like a brand, you know, like their people have been branded in a bad way. But nobody alive today in Germany was responsible for that. None of the young generation were responsible for that. I mean, there's probably like 100-year-olds in Germany, so maybe they're a little bit responsible. But you got a new younger generation, millennials, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, whatever it's called, Gen Beta, and they didn't do any of that stuff. But they still kind of live under the cloud of it, so I feel bad for them for that. Here it is. All right, here's this. And this. And this. Must be nice to live with no guilt. Does anyone live with no guilt? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 boxes. 6 hits. Do I have any more? I might give you the rest if I can find any more. Any open boxes? That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for an open box. I'm looking for an open box. Okay, let's see if we got any more anywhere. I don't think I do. What's this? That's Starbirth. All right. No manga is just no manga. That's all there is to it. I'm going to stand up and look around for any more EB2 real fast. Okay, guys? Any more EB2? All right, I think that's it. I can't find any more. EB2 is sold out. It did not last long. When you price it real cheap, they do not stay around too long. So Zach, I'm gonna pull this up. Start pulling this up. Mister, do you have more Evolution slabs? I got a lot of slabs. They rotate on this table. You can also check our Discord server. But I don't have like a box where I store the Evolutions or anything. That's Wald Beer. Who's this? That's Xadrian. Okay. Yolan Zach Allen, Yugi Tao. Looking for any Zach bags. Walled beer again. Walled beer again. I think we got it. All right. I'm sorry, Zach. No mangas in here. It was just bad luck. All right. We need a box for all this. Actually, these go back down. No notification today, says Mr. Fredericks. Really? Did anyone else not receive a notification? You know, we only had like 90 viewers last night. I thought that was really low. Actually, I think at one point we had like 110, but mostly we did not have that. Yeah, it was real slow last night. Maybe the daytime stream is servicing so many people's needs so well because it runs so long. Like, we're almost at 2 hours right now. Maybe they are not showing up to the nighttime stream as much because they feel like they've got their fill already. But yeah, it was kind of... We still sold tons too, by the way. Last night's nighttime stream, busy all the way through. And my PayPal says our sales are up 20%. 20%. I don't know what's causing that. Very unusual. Must just have, I don't know, the right stuff. I don't know. I can't always tell you when things are like successful, what's causing it. This. All right, Mr. Zach. Might be these on sale boxes, in fact. Who knows? Okay. Because we've been selling through these pretty fast. So it might be these. Okay. All right. Zach was not the only one buying these. Joshua Whipple was. Man, that's tough luck, Mr. Zach. Let me go ahead and get you a label. That is the end of Zach's order. It was a big $300 order, everyone. Oh, it's Zachary, isn't it? All right, I would have been much happier seeing you pull a manga there. Magic Girls? Any chance Raging Bolt and Sylvia 9 could be priced before the nighttime? Raging Bolt. Print this. Do you remember whose slabs those were? Were those Anthony's or were they Tammy's? We got Gundam, Godzilla, more Poke, more One Piece, interspecies review are coming in less than 2 months. Summer's gonna pop off. Yeah, we are. Hey man, if you made a quick list for me, Roger, I'd give you a $20 store credit. If you made a quick list pointing out all the most important sets for me to add to the channel, because it gets hard for me to track that sometimes. We had like that one Excel sheet, Google sheet going, but I think it's outdated now. But I'd give you a $20 store credit if you just wrote a quick thing. Get everything that's very important onto it, okay? You don't have to get 100%, but get almost all the good ones. You are? Yeah, it could be hard to track. I'm especially interested in card sets that are a bit odd. Maybe not part of our usual rotation. There you go. Maybe like card sets that not everyone will have because they won't think to have it. For example, we've got this Solo Leveling. That's been good. Solo Leveling has been good to us. Okay. Thank you, Zach. Woo! Let's see where we're at, guys. We have an order from Rigoberto Gill. $100 to pay off Fossil Slab away. Whoa. Those are finishing up. Okay, Rigoberto is done. People want to see the Fossil box finished. Okay, that's 3 people who finished their Fossil Slab pack. They were in the newest PSA short. Might be yours. Newest PSA short. Oh, if it's TCCG graded cards, those aren't for sale. 50 to start a new Fossil Slab away. Hell yeah, dude. All right. Hell yeah. Now, when we get started, these will actually be placed together, these 2 packs. We will be rewriting the list with everyone's duplicate spots side by side. So you got one here, you got one down here, and you got one here. If you want them to be split up, we can do that, but you got to warn me. By default, we're going to put them all together. Okay, ... S. He said, re-up me. Down to 600. Remember, when you put a pack of Fossil in the slab away, there's no slab away fee. And the timeline works differently. It's not 6 months. It's actually just based off of when the box finishes. You need to get done by then, okay? So you could put a fossil pack into slab away right now for whatever you want to pay down on it. There's no slab away fee. So there we have it. You know, if everyone had done that at the beginning, you'd have gotten the pack for 500. So we started this like almost a year ago. So way over here, these guys were getting the packs for 500. Now on this side, it's 650. That's because what happened? Well, Pokemon cards got more expensive every time. Okay, so let's see. Now we've got an order from... We're just trying to catch up on the orders because we kind of fell back there. Alicia Brown says, Neo Charizard break. Oh, it's a good one. That's a good one. Neo Charizard break dips past the halfway point with this order. I thought this one would move a little faster than it did, but it's still moving fast. I mean, it's 9 spots deep within a week. I think we got to introduce new people to the stream. If you guys help me with that, if you help me introduce new people, friends, family, maybe somebody who you know at a card shop, somebody who you know collects cards. If you help me get more people in here, these breaks move faster. So the larger our audience is, the larger our community, the faster these breaks move. And that's a nice thing. All right, let's see. Like if our community was really, really small, the breaks would take even longer. Ugh. All right. And so here is 6 going into that box break. It's a good break, 6. There it is. Well, I'd be in most of these breaks. That's the Quest of Vaporeon. Ah, here it is, the box battle. Let me recount these box battle spots. I say go ahead and do a full reset, Tammy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 6 here. I get scared sometimes that I'm going to miss like a major release on some kind of set. So I get worried about that. Aaron Rodriguez, let me get 1 Terra Festival. Japanese. 5 Glory of Team Rocket. 5 Glory of Team Rocket. And 1 OP9. English or Japanese? It must be Japanese, right? So 5 of these. OP9 Japanese. Boy, we used to sell the crap out of these, man. We used to sell so much of this. Here it is. All right. Ooh. So Aaron Rodriguez. Ready. Sleep. Very good. All right. We've got Persian. Meow. Look at that Persian. Cold. Kangaskhan. What time is it? 6:35. Oh, man, dude. That is so lucky. He got that on 5 packs, everybody. 5 packs. He pulls a Crobat. That's amazing. That is so lucky. All right, beautiful. What do you guys think? You think I should do a big restock on Team Rocket? I like the set. It's a nice set. And here's this girl here coming out of the Terra Festival. That's lucky, man. There. And Hollow. There it is, Aaron Rodriguez. That was a $50 order. He whips out a Crobat. Ugh. You got too much stuff. Aaron Rodriguez, if you want me to submit that to BGS, I think BGS is next in the grading submissions rotation. Could be Black Label, who knows? Probably not. All right, let's get rotate. We've got Dratini. This is Tammy's Dratini 9 from Rocket Returns. Very lovely card. Here's Geodude. Here's Sandshrew for $45. Here's Juggernaut and Tyranitar. And now let's get a new slab up here. Ah, the Weedle. The Weedle returns. Here it is. So the problem with this Weedle, I don't think there's a price on it online. But let's look up Poker Weedle. Poker Weedle. Why does he look so funny? Because he's actually from Pokemon Stadium. All right, there's like a weird Weedle Beedrill card for like 300. That's way too high. There are no Poker Weedles to go off of. I don't know. So let's get them priced up. We're going to go with 60. Pretty sure the slabs I was talking about were nice, showing off in your newest PSA return. Oh, here we are. So this is going to say $60. Anthony. Go, Anthony. And let's get a Tammy slab real fast. Oh, right. This, we're going to think about that real soon. That's Caleb's. All right. What is this? Oh, I see. All right, so here's a bay leaf, and this is one of Tammy's. Bay leaf. Tammy, I'm not going to lie. Bay leaf is really hard to move. I don't know what it is. People like Chikorita. People like Meganium. Bay leaf? Nobody likes bay leaf. That is just how it is. Let's check for a sold bay leaf. Bat leaf. Let's try that again. Bay leaf. There it is. So the cheapest bay leaf is $40 right there. That's going to be our price, $40, Tammy. We'll see if it sells. This is going to be one that rotates for a while, I bet. All right. Unless somebody wants to simp for you. And then we'll grab one from my pile. Let's grab one from my pile. What do we got? A nice knockdown. So, what was he asking for? I can't remember. What was he asking for? Was he asking for Mareep? Because I got Mareep and I got Heracross. Those are cute. Do you have an Aber Poker card? Oh, I'm sure I did in the past. I don't have one right now. But listen, I have more raw poker cards than probably anyone in the world right now. I have been stocking those for like 3 years. So I can 100% get one graded down the road. Raging Bolt and Raging Bolt. What is a Raging Bolt? What does a Raging Bolt look like? Can anyone tell me what Pokemon that is? All right. All right, so here is a Mareep. Mareep, very cute. It's a sheep from Neo time period. No Mareep price and Heracross. No Heracross price, so I'm the only one selling these. Let's begin by getting their rarity. We're going to look up their population count. The giraffe. Giraffe Raikou. Oh, a Giraffe Raikou, you say. So this Heracross is pop 3. Truly rare. And we're going to set them up for $75. Pop 3. Heracross is considered a rare card in the Neo time period. Very often he was a rare card. Same with Pinsir and Scyther. And then Mareep's more like a common. Mareep's even more rare than the Heracross. He's going to be pop 2. I think it's a very cute Pokemon. We're going to ask for, well, we're going to ask for probably a very reasonable $60 on this. Okay, Raging Bolt, which is a giraffe. I don't see a Raging Bolt. Just got that Heracross for $50. Nice. Oh, meaning that there was one for sale, but it's sold. That's pretty good. $50 is not bad for any PSA 10. You know, if you think about what the price of a PSA 10 typically goes for, that's not bad at all, is it? Hey, look at this card. That's a sexy card. I don't know if that was part of my return. Was that part of my return? That might have been somebody else's cards, man. Definitely someone else's cards. You saw that from the PSA return, but that was someone else's cards. We middleman grade, so some of those cards go to other people. Look at this card up close, guys. You want to see this? Damn, dude, they draw nipples on her. That's not right. That's not right. This is a good Christian Minecraft server. You guys know that. We're not like that. We're good Christians. Ave Maria, gratia pleno, dominus tecum. We would never look at girls' titties. So, what is this from? This is from Weiss Schwarz 2019. What is that? Probably the original Fantasia Bunko, if I had to guess. 2019 Fantasia. Let's just type in Bunko. 044. Let's type in Weiss Bunko. Let's type in Weiss Bunko 44. Boy, it's not showing up at all. Here it is. It's called Fujimi Fantasia Bunko Rias. All right. Rias. And now let's organize it by highest price because we want to see if there's some that are graded. All right, and here we have the exact same card. There's one for sale online for 250 12 watchers. 250? 250 for this? Dang, dude. That's going up into the waifu shuffles. This is definitely a waifu shuffle card. We added Mystique, so now we got to add a really good one, like this guy. Girl. This girl. All right, where are the waifu cards? Here it is, the waifu shuffle. So if this is 250, I'm going to do you a deal. I'm going to do 240. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it's going to go in for 12, which is 240. It's actually below the buy it now price. And that's going to be added to the box, and you might be able to pull that. That's the waifu shuffle box full of sexy girl cards and a couple not so sexy girl cards, but that's what it is. Rias 10. It's got the C on it to show that it's a pricey one. The League of Legends card game pushed back to October. This is going to say 240 down here, so we know what we put it into the box for. That's how that works. So we put this in for 100, we put this in for 240, and it goes. That's the waifu shuffle. Waifu shuffle gives you a chance at graded waifu cards in case you don't want to open booster packs. Nathan Gordon, 13 Hot Wings, Heatwave Arena, right? Heatwave Arena. So, guys, I got to wrap up. We're 2 hours deep. It's like almost 7. Sending cards in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Sending cards in to get some golden. All right, sounds good. Ready? Here goes. They showed off the cards, how it's played, and the new name, Riftbound, is very similar to One Piece looking. Cool. League of Legends is pretty popular, right? So we could do, like, we could definitely experiment with new card sets. Maybe we should always experiment with the new card set. We have Metazoo. What do you guys think of Metazoo? Do you guys think Metazoo's failing? Do you think it's struggling, or do you think Metazoo's doing all right? Like, should I be restocking Metazoo? Also, Lorcana is another one. You know, I haven't paid much attention to Lorcana in a while. You think that Lorcana would bring viewers in? Do you think it would bring buyers in? Here's Shaman. I feel like maybe it's too experimental. Oh, Ethan's Ho-Oh. All right. That's a good round. Gundam and Godzilla coming in July. Yeah, I actually talked to my supplier about the Gundam to make sure he knows I want it. Don't restock Lorcana or Metazoo. I think it's a loss. We are. Here's a cold one. Garchomp. Ooh. Here is Ethan's Typhlosion. Lovely. Cold. Cold. And Typhlosion. Lorcana too risky. You think Lorcana's too risky? You know what that tells me? I've got a case of Lorcana. That's going, Lorcana base set. That's going up on eBay. We're going to get rid of that too. No more Lorcana, I think, if people feel that way about it still. I think Metazoo needs time to simmer. Simmer down. Here's Nathan Gordon. Oh. Lovely. You don't believe in the Mothman? We got Houndoom, $90, golden card. That is Bussy for $20, Cloud for $24, Typhlosion Pop 5, $150, a really good one, and Mickey Mouse down to $135 now. He's the star card. And that's it. We're out of orders. We did it. Don't sell that base set case. You think so? The base set of Metazu, you think that's something to hold on to? That's a hold in my opinion. This man just say bussy. Yeah, I did. So you never know, because we got to save up money to move too. So, you know, giving up things here and there, even if they're good holds, you might just give them up just to be able to move into a new home. So you never know. But we are looking for things to liquidate now and not have to pack up and bring with us. We just want to travel lighter now. And so we'll see what happens. All right, guys. Fantastic stream. Very busy stream. What is up with these daytime streams, man? They're busy as hell, dude. Show the breaks. All right, we're showing the breaks for the nighttime. We've got Van Gogh Pikachu. This Charizard moved today. He's up to 9. This Waifu Shuffle's the new Star Shuffle. We got the Mega Break Mute. This moved by, the Sublist moved by 2 spots. Sublist just moved by 2 spots. That's a lot. Here's the Quest stickers. Fossil moved by a full spot. See that? Down to 27 now. Fossil Sublist, 3 spots left. Let's see. There's the Mega Sublist with Anthony Kalura, 2 spots on it. This moved by 1 spot. The the Brilliant Stars break. All right, that's up to 6 out of 10. All these breaks getting close. We finished a number of gem breaks. Okay, so the Anthony Kalura Ball Toy break ended. The 3-way Flareon ended. The Dratini ended. So we have no gym breaks. So that means in the next stream, if I wanted to, we could pick out a new gym break for fun. All right, see you later, everybody.